I have been into astrophotography for more than a decade now, and naturally I have owned and collected and used a lot of gear during that time. So today I am making a brief tier list of all the gear I have used with respect to astrophotography. I'll be ranking them in 4 categories from S to D, with S being the highest and D being the lowest. So let's get into it. Starting off with my first camera, which was the Nikon D7000, and I would rank this camera somewhere in the B category because it was very good for its time and I have got excellent images with it, but still I would rank it in B categories because the other Nikon cameras during that time were way better. This was a crop sensor camera, so it's a B category. The second camera, then I moved on to full frame, and this was the first full frame camera which I used. It was the Sony A7 Mark II, and it's absolutely C category because it was really slow for its time, and it had a lot of heating issues, and it was just not ready for prime time. The next camera, which is by far my favorite camera, and it is the highest in this list, it's straight up S category, the A7R3. Most of my images have been shot, best images have been shot using this camera. Absolute beast, and nothing compares to the dynamic range of this sensor, so it's absolutely S category. This camera had an insane resolution of 45 megapixels, which was excellent for cropping and getting those big prints, and it had so much detail packed into it, so S category without a doubt. The next camera, which is a bit odd on this list because I have a love-hate relationship with it, and it will be really difficult for me to place this camera in any category, is the A7S III, because Sony advertised this camera as an absolute low light monster, but somehow I was never able to get any good results with it because it certainly did not have the resolution for still photography, and you could see there were no fine details as compared to the A7R3. But this is an absolute beast of a camera specs wise, so it's really difficult for me because I did not use it to its full potential, I feel, but still for me it's C category, I feel, or maybe B I could put, but C category. The next camera is the jack of all trades, the A7 IV, which is the current camera which I use for most of my shoots, and really nothing much to say about this camera. It does excellent in almost everything, but still it doesn't reach the A7R3 level. It's A category for me. The next camera, which I don't even know the model name because it's too long for me, is the Lumix S5 2X or something like that. And this camera also has not lived up to its potential, at least for me, because whenever I have used this camera, there have been clouds, or the weather has been not good, or the sky has been hazy. I'm yet to see a full good result for this camera. So this camera also goes in the C category for me, because I know the camera has potential, but I have not been able to use it correctly now. These were all the major cameras which I have used, and another camera which technically is not a camera but it's a DJI Osmo 5, I think, something like that, Osmo Action 5, and it's absolutely junk for me for anything low light, so it straight up goes into the junk or the D category. Now these were the cameras, so with cameras out of the way, let's get on with the lenses part. And the first lens on the list is Tokina 1116. It was a manual and autofocus lens, f2.8, very sharp, and it really did its job excellent, so it's straight up A category for me. The next lens on the list is a Tamron 17 to 28, Tamron 17 to 28 f2.8, and it's an okay lens, nothing good, nothing bad, so B category or a higher B category, you could say, and it's a decent lens. Now the next lens on the category is by far the best lens I have owned ever for anything which I have used, is the 2470 G Master f2.8 Sony lens, and it's right there up with the Sony in A7R3. It's this category. Actually, this combination is god tier. A7R3 and 2470 is god tier combination. So there's nothing wrong with the lens apart from its weight and the price, but it's the best you can own. I've been using this lens since so many years now, and it's absolutely gone to the dogs now. You can see everything is broken, but still it gives me excellent performance. I hardly use this now because I have a few other lenses and it has developed a lot of scratches, but this is absolutely god tier lens. Next up is the 20-60 lens f3.5 to 5.6. My editor is helping me here, and this is lower B category because it does its job, nothing good, nothing bad. So it's just lower B or higher C category. I could even put it in the higher C category. Another lens which I've used, well, not for Milky Way, but for getting the deep sky shots, because 300 mm is an excellent focal length for getting Orion Nebula, Andromeda, is the 70-300 lens. And this is an excellent lens from Nikon because it's very versatile. You could do wildlife also, you could do some deep sky stuff also. So this is also into A category. The next lens on this is a 14mm f2 Samyang or Rockinon lens. Well, this one is the cheapest lens which I've owned. It's a manual focus lens, and it's not very exceptional. You have to be really lucky to get a good copy, because I've heard some people who have to return a few copies to get the proper one. So it has a lot of quality issues. I don't know if they still make it or if it's still available in India, because I rarely see anyone use it. So this is in a higher B category for me, because of the price point. It's very cheap. I still have this lens with me here, but I don't use it because we have absolutely wrecked this lens. This had an issue or a fungus issue, so I decided to open it myself, and now it has
a mechanical issue.
a mechanical issue. So now it has a mechanical issue instead of an optical issue. So we have destroyed this lens, but it was good while I used it. It's made in Korea, so it's B category for me. Now the next up on the list are a few tripods. Well, tripods are generally good only. There's anything about a tripod, but still I have to rank it. So the first tripod is the slick tripod, carbon fiber, and I have used this extensively. I think I must have used this for more than 10 years. It's a ball head tripod. It was very simple to use, very lightweight, straight up S category for me, because it was the best and I really abused it a lot, and it has passed away, rest in peace. So it's A category for now. The next up on the list is Digitech tripod, very cheap but really difficult to use because it had a lot of adjustment levers which were difficult to use in the night. So lower C category for me, or you could say almost a D category, because, well, you could not worth saving money on a tripod. Either don't use a tripod or get a good tripod. The next up on the list is the tripod which I currently use, is the Ulanzi tripod. Very lightweight, good tripod, and just like the Slick, it's a B category, because or you could always put it in the A category also, but higher B category is fine. And the best part about this tripod is you could invert it, so you can get really low angle shots which the Slick could not do, but that's the plus point. So that's why it's in a higher B category. Now we are getting into the heavy duty stuff. the telescopes which I have used for photography and for visual. So I'll be ranking them according to both, and it will be tough to rank because telescopes are generally of good quality and they excel at what they do, but still I'll rank them, try to rank them. First on the list is the Celestron Nexstar 8SE, which is the newest telescope in my collection. It's a go-to computerized telescope and 2000 mm focal length, which is very long focal length, but it's a slower telescope, f8 or f9, and it's very easy to use and very sharp optics, hardly requires any collimation, and it's just fantastic to use. The only downside is it's a very long focal length, so it's not really suitable for astrophotography, but it's excellent for visual, and I would rank it in the A category, higher A category. And this telescope is an out and out beast for viewing the planets and the moon. The next up on the list is the Celestron 70 LCM. Well, this is a only telescope which is a refractor type. The rest all in the list are reflector types, and absolutely junk. I would never recommend anyone buying these telescopes online or from anywhere, because you will lose interest in the hobby by using these. Absolutely junk views, and you are much better off using a binoculars, which I'll get to later. So stay away from these cheap refractor telescopes, and you are much better off with buying a cheaper Dobsonian or a binoculars. So it's D category for me. Next up on the list is the Skywatcher 10-inch Dobsonian telescope go-to. There's nothing negative about this telescope. It's straight up S category for me, because this is one of the easiest telescopes I've used. It's very easy to align. The go-to is excellent and the views are very sharp. Only downside to it is it requires constant collimation, and it's one of the best telescopes I've used and totally worth the money. The Skywatcher ones are a bit expensive, but extremely high build quality. The next up on the list is the biggest telescope in my collection. It's a 16-inch Dobsonian by GSO. It's a full manual telescope, no go-to, no tracking, and I am trying to put it in S category, but I cannot put it because it's not portable. It's a two-man job to set it up and use it, and it's not very easy to use, and the views are excellent but not ideal for small children and people like that, because you would need a ladder and stuff to observe, because it's a very big telescope. And so it's a higher A category. Nothing even compares to this telescope optically in the list, but it's not very user friendly, so it loses some points and it goes into the A category. Next up in the list is a 6-inch Newtonian GSO, another equipment by GSO. Now this telescope is an out and out photography telescope. It's not good for visual but excellent for photography. Very lightweight, very easy to use, very easy to collimate. So I would put it in a A category. It's for photography and not for visual. Rest of the telescope which I showed you here for more for visual, but this one is for photography. So this is really good. The next telescope is also by GSO, 6 inches, but it's a different technology. It's an RC type of telescope, different design, not technology. And this is an out and out photography telescope, but it's very long focal length, and it's very fast long focal length telescope, and not very easy to use because the collimation process is very tough. I've already wrecked my telescope. It fell one night and I've never been able to collimate after that. So it's very difficult to maintain, and you need a lot of equipment to photograph from it. You need proper guide scope, you need a good mount, you need everything. So I would be putting this in the C category because it's not easy to use. You need a dedicated setup. It requires a lot of time, so stay away from RC telescope. Fun fact, the Hubble telescope is also an RC design. It's a very big RC design, but it's a RC design. So optically very sharp and corrected, but difficult to use. Now the next category are the mounts on which you mount the telescope. So I have only used two mounts extensively, so I'll only be ranking them. The first one is the Ioptron CEM mount, absolutely value for money mount, and easy to use and everything. It goes into the B category. B category because it takes a lot of time to set up all these things. So you could also put them in A category because time is not an issue, because this hobby is, as it is, very time consuming and for the patient. So CEM 25 Equatorial mount goes into the A category. Now the next mount on my list is the most unique thing which I have used, and I was really amazed by the power it had for such a small thing. It's a Star Adventure mount, and it could run on AAA batteries or a power bank, and it could image all night. It could carry, I have even used 500 mm f4 Nikon lens, which is a big and a heavy lens for people who know, and it's just really very small, and it attaches itself on a normal tripod, and you could take wide scapes, Milky Way and Orion Nebula and even Andromeda Galaxy and everything, and it's very portable. So but it was a bit difficult to use because it was not computerized. You had to manually polar align and do all that stuff. But once you did that, and if you could find objects through it, it was a blast to use, and I have had the most fun times using the Star Adventure mount. So it goes into higher A category. Now there are two other cameras which are not really cameras but are astro cameras. I have not used many astro cameras, but the ones I have used are the ZWO 120 planetary camera, and it's just a 1 or 2 megapixel camera. It's mainly used for planetary imaging or can be used as a guide camera. It's relatively cheap and does excellent job at planetary work. So it's a B category for me because it's a very specific use camera and used for a very limited purpose. The second camera is a ZWO 2600 cooled camera color. Now it's a very expensive camera, very niche again, and but this can be used for deep sky imaging and everything, but it requires a lot of effort, time to set up, lot of experiments and everything. It's a A category for me because it's excellent. It's a cooled camera and there is absolutely no noise issue, nothing, so it goes into the A category. Now I also have Celestron binoculars with me, and these are only for visual, and I would put them in the B category because it's very easy to use, nothing much to talk about. Now the last item is a very special item on the list. Well, it's not any gear or something. It's my trusted wallet. I don't have it with me right now. Well, wallet, for one, you need money to do this hobby, and secondly, somehow I realized the wallet was an excellent tool for balancing the camera when you really needed those low angle shots, because you could just keep the wallet at this angle and place the camera here, and I have made full time lapses and shot some excellent images with the wallet. Very easy to set up and just place the camera on it and shoot away, and surprisingly it was very stable. My wallet never let me down, and it's one of the best tools you can have. So it's straight up higher S category for me. So yeah, this was my brief equipment tier list. Now please do let me know in the comments if I have made some wrong decisions during the tier sorting, or you could also comment down below about the equipment or gear you use and where would you rank them in this tier. So looking forward to all those comments, and yeah, stay subscribed guys.